Hi, my smart friend. Welcome back to my class. In this video, I will teach you how to arrange numbers. But before you can learn what I'm about to teach you, you must have mastered how to count your numbers from 1 to 100. So if you have not mastered how to count numbers from 1 to 100, go and watch the video that talks about counting numbers from 1 to 100. I want you to master that before you come back to this class. My name is Master Valour, and this is Some Global. Now, let's say your mommy gives you some candies to share with your friends. So we have you here, and we have your first friend here, your second friend, and your third friend. So we have 4 people, right? And this is you. Okay, let's say you take 5, you give this friend 3, you give this friend 4, and you give this friend 2. Who has the biggest amount of candies? You, of course, right? Good. So this is the biggest. Who has the smallest amount of candies? This friend, right? So this is the smallest. Now, in arranging numbers, we can take numbers from the smallest share to the biggest share. Or we can take numbers from the biggest share down to the smallest share. Now, if you are taking number from the smallest share up to the biggest share, it's called ascending. And if you're taking it from the biggest share back to the smallest one, it's called descending. Now, if you are in primary 1, you may not be meeting the words ascending and descending in your work. However, you will be meeting smallest, biggest. So, if we are going to go from the smallest to the biggest here, that will be, okay, let's do it, smallest to the biggest. The person with the smallest is 2. The person following 2 is 3, and the person following 3 is 4, and the person following 4 is 5. Now we have done it from the smallest to the biggest. Now, how do we go from the biggest to the smallest? Biggest to the smallest. So we're going to go from 5, just the opposite of what we have already. 4, 3, 2. Those are the numbers we have there. Let's go to the next example. Now, this example says, arrange in ascending order: 7, 9, 4, 8, and 5. Now, we are asked to arrange in ascending order. Let me remind you what I said before. Ascending means we are going up. So you are going up from the smallest one up to the biggest one. So imagine climbing up a stair, right? When you are climbing up a stair, you are ascending. Okay? When you are growing up, you are ascending in your age. You are going from a smaller age to a bigger age, right? Good. Now, you have to arrange in ascending order. Now, let's say these are candies, okay? And I want you to give me, Master Valour. I want you to give Master Valour the smallest share of candies, right? You know, I'm that math teacher that wants you to learn maths. So I want you to give me the smallest. Give me the smallest share of candies. I know you like me, but just give me the smallest share of candies. That would be 4, right? Good. So, smallest to biggest. So that would be 4. Now, what's coming after 4 in these numbers? 5, right? Okay, I'm going to take out 4. Now, 5. Do we have a 6 here? Oh, no, we don't have a 6. So we are good with 6. Now, what is coming next? 7, right? Good. I'm going to take out 7 and write 7 here. What's coming after 7? 8. Okay. And what's coming after 8? 9. So that is from the smallest to the biggest. Well done. Clap for yourself. Let's go to the next example. Now, in this example, you have to ask yourself, how well do I know my numbers? Because we have to arrange in ascending order. 9, 6, 11, 14, and 13. Now, when you are arranging in ascending order, how do you go? From the smallest to the biggest, or from the biggest to the smallest? From the smallest to the biggest, right? So we are going up. Good. Which of these numbers is the smallest? 6, correct. So smallest to biggest, smallest to biggest. The first one we have is 6. After 6, who comes next? 9. So I'm going to take 9. After 9, who should come next? That's 11, correct. After 11, who comes next? Is it 14 or 13? That should be 13. Good job. And after 13 is what? 14. So if you know how to count your numbers normally, you should be able to know which number should I count before I count the next. When I am counting, I must say 6, right? Before all the other numbers. That is why 6 is coming first. And I must say 9 before the other numbers. That is why I have 9, right? That's when I've taken away 6. I must say 9 before I say the rest of the numbers, right? Now, when I've taken away 6 and 9, I must say 11 in my counting before I count 13 or 14, right? That is why you need to know how to count properly. Because if you don't know how to count properly, you cannot be able to arrange your numbers properly. Now, let's go to the next example. Now, this question says, arrange in descending order. Now, I've already explained descending before. Descending means when you are going from the biggest share to the smallest share. Whenever you hear the word descending, I want you to think about the amount of candies you are going to take. Out of all these numbers, which one would you like to take? I want you to take the biggest. Yes, that's what I want for you. I know you want to take the biggest, so just take it now, right? So which one will you take? 19, that's good. Okay, so biggest to smallest. Now we are going to write the 19 first, okay? So remember, we are going from the biggest share to the smallest share. Now I have taken away 19. Look at the rest of the numbers. Which of the numbers now is the biggest? Which one will you take? Assuming we cover this 19. There is no 19 here. Which is the biggest share? 15. Correct. Good job. Now, assuming we cover 15 and 19, who will be the biggest share now? That will be 13, right? This is why you must know how to count properly before you can learn this, okay? So keep working on your counting if you have not mastered counting until you master counting before you can do this easily. Now, when we cover all these numbers, who will be the biggest? 12. That's good. Can you tell me who's next? 8. And the final number is 7. So here we've arranged the numbers from the biggest share to the smallest share. I believe you've paid attention in this video, and I believe you have been able to learn something in this video. Now, in our next video, I'll be teaching you how to count forward and how to count backward. See you.